What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back, and from Double XL, here are 13 bizarre moments in the YSL trial, the wildest trial in hip-hop history. So I guess that's up for debate, but you probably would not be able to script anything better than this, and I'd imagine some Hollywood hack is not going to wait long after this is over to turn it into a television show. That's how crazy it's been. And I will also admit that at the beginning of Young Thug's music career, he made some good and unique music, but that ship has sailed, and this is what he's dealing with now. It's been bizarre, as they say, and we're just getting started. So there's plenty of time left for more insanity to ensue. Young Thug's YSL RICO trial will go down as the wildest legal case in hip-hop history. Since January, which marked the beginning of the YSL RICO trial, chaos and mayhem have erupted during the proceedings. Astonishingly, after 4 months of jury selection, not one single jury has been seated. So there you go. We're just getting started. And there's already 13 bizarre moments. And there's probably more than that. You see all these little news stories pop up about this case, and it's so hard to keep up with. So shout out to Double XL for putting it all in this nice little article to let us know kind of what's actually happening. During the proceedings, some of the most outrageous conduct in the courtroom was displayed by jurors, defendants, and attorneys, and the judge, in my humble opinion. At one point for jury selection, Young Thug was involved in an alleged hand-to-hand drug exchange with his YSL co-defendant, Khalif Adams. The brazen act was caught on camera. Deputies confronted Thug, and he gave them the pill while Adams was whisked away to be searched. So these people have been living consequence-free for so long that I guess they have no idea that there's cameras everywhere and you can't just do that in the middle of a courtroom. And also, Young Thug clearly has so much power amongst these guys that they are willing to risk their freedom to bring him some drugs in court. Absolutely crazy. Judge Earl Glanville, who was presiding over the YSL case, experienced some bizarre moments in the courtroom as well. During a hearing, Judge Glanville punished a juror who decided to take a trip to the Dominican Republic instead of going to jury duty. When the woman returned to court, the judge ordered her to complete a 30-page essay on the importance of jury duty. I don't know how he's getting away with that. I'm not a lawyer, right? I'm not a cop. I don't know much about the legal system, to be honest. But can a judge just give homework to a juror, a 30-page essay that he's probably not even going to read anyways? Give me a break. Judge Glanville gave her strict guidelines for the paper, which included it being written in APA style with 10 primary sources and 10 secondary sources. And what if she doesn't do it? Then what? You're going to throw her in jail? I mean, how do we get here? In April, an attorney was arrested for bringing contraband into the courtroom and assaulting an officer, according to WSB TV. Attorney Anastasios Menetas, who was representing YSL co-defendant, Miles Farley, a.k.a. Lil Miles, was allegedly caught with prescription pills in court. Before deputies could place Menetas in handcuffs, he tossed his cell phone at another attorney so it wouldn't be seized, but it struck a deputy in the head. Instead, Menetas was charged with 2 counts of pills not in their original container, 1 count of obstruction, and 1 count of simple battery against a law enforcement officer. So you have one of your lawyers telling the judge that's cap, and you have another one of your lawyers bringing drugs into the courtroom, so I don't think you stand a chance. And that was just the intro. So here, I guess, is all of the incidents, detailed. Judge threatens to arrest people for making outbursts in court. In October 2022, Gunna appeared at his 3rd bond hearing in hopes of getting out of jail on bond. Judge Glanville denied the YSL rapper for the 3rd time, much to the loud grunts and groans from people sitting in the courtroom, most likely Gunna supporters. Judge Glanville gave a stern warning to onlookers in the court, quote, "If anybody is in the gallery and you can't otherwise control yourself, or otherwise you want to make inappropriate comments, then you can leave at this point in time. No harm will come or nothing else will occur, but warned, if you remain in this courtroom and make any outbursts, I'll have you arrested." So this guy is dishing out homework assignments and telling people to be quiet, which I guess is a little bit more acceptable than demanding a 30-page essay from a juror who went on vacay. Judge Glanville recites Slime lyrics. In January of 2023, during jury selection, the YSL trial judge Glanville read through the prosecution's case against Young Thug for the potential jurors, which included him reciting excerpts from the 2016 Thugger song Slime. Okay, and look, I've already admitted that I like some of the old Young Thug songs. I don't know what I kind of know what he's up to recently, and it ain't making music, but we're talking like 2014, 2015 Young Thug, early stuff. Stoner, that was pretty good, right? What was the mixtape? I forget now. Slime Season 2, Barter 6, and then it kind of dropped off after that. Beautiful Thugger Girls, I don't know. Doesn't matter. The point is, I do like some of the Young Thug songs, but I'm not familiar with this one. Hey, that Slime, YSL, killing. Okay, yeah, this is, and obviously you need a trap beat behind it so it doesn't sound incredibly violent, for lack of a better term. Sexually explicit video played on Zoom. This is arguably one of the most shocking moments in the YSL trial. In December of 2022, Thug appeared in court for the first time since his May 2022 arrest. His attorney, Brian Steele, argued to suppress evidence from Thugger's 2015 arrest. During the hearing, while technicians were setting up a Zoom feed for other attorneys, a pornographic video popped up, which sent court officials scrambling to remove the not safe for work stream. The video was accompanied by the message, "Free Young Thug." Apparently, someone on the Zoom call shared their screen displaying the sexually explicit video. It's crazy. Gunna takes plea deal. This was hugely viral, right? He had that huge viral hit song with Future, I believe, called Pushin' P, and the internet changed it into Pushin' Plea, and then Gunna came out and tried to pretend he was still like YSL the label, and he was still down with it, which I don't think is the case, bro. On December 14, 2022, Gunna was released from jail after the rapper made an Alford plea to racketeering charges. According to his attorney, Steve Sadow, the Atlanta rapper was sentenced to 5 years with 1 year of time served and the remainder of his sentence being suspended. An Alford plea is designated for defendants who do not admit guilt of crime but concede that the state has enough evidence to prove them guilty. Yikes, bro. So that definitely doesn't look good for Young Thug and the rest of these guys. But when your lawyer is out there calling cap on the judge and another lawyer is bringing dope into the courtroom, you probably didn't stand a chance anyway. Video leaks of Gunna taking plea deal. Hours after Gunna was released from jail, video surfaced of the YSL member in court taking his deal. In the clip, Atlanta rapper was asked by a prosecutor to agree with multiple statements as it relates to YSL's alleged racketeering, and that's where we get the yes ma'am meme, which clearly implicates Young Thug. So Gunna can pretend that he didn't snitch and doesn't bother me, I don't live that life, but you basically pointed the finger directly at him. YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates have committed crimes in furtherance of that gang. Yes, ma'am, he replied. Gunna was released from jail after making the Alford plea to racketeering charges. Steve Sadow insisted that Gunna didn't snitch on Young Thug or other YSL members with his Alford plea deal. Well, yeah, of course. He's not going to say, yeah, man, we snitched. We took that plea deal, bro. Good luck to the rest of those guys, though. We're going to be out living our free lives. Of course, he's not going to say that. He's going to say, well, we didn't snitch. We didn't cooperate. But you did. And you implicated Young Thug. Doesn't bother me, but you got to call a spade, bro. Young Thug handed drugs by co-defendant. Another shocking moment in the YSL trial occurred in January 2023. A drug transaction between Young Thug and one of his co-defendants was caught on camera. I mean, these people just have no remorse, but I guess they're so addicted to dope that they have to risk their freedom, which I guess is already being risked. All right, so I suppose you have nothing left to lose. Might as well get high, right? During the proceeding, an alleged hand-to-hand exchange of drugs between Young Thug and his co-defendant Khalif Adams happened right in front of bailiffs. According to prosecutors, Adams walked over to where Thugger was seated with his attorney and dropped a Percocet in Thug's hand. A deputy confronted Thug and the rapper gave the pill to authorities. So he got caught and gave it up immediately. I guess what else could he possibly do? Just eat it right there? Not only that, deputies also found Percocet, marijuana, and tobacco on Adams. The items were wrapped in plastic and food seasoning to conceal the odor of weed. Yikes, bro. So yeah, Young Thug has clearly wielding power, bro, to where these guys are I guess he has the money, to make it worth their while. What hypnosis are these guys under where they're going to risk their own lives to bring you some dope in court? Absolute insanity. Judge orders juror to write 30-page essay. So yeah, this is kind of where we started. In a weird moment during jury selection, Judge Glanville punished a juror who decided to go on a trip instead of going to jury duty. And again, not sure how he's going to enforce this. It seems like he's overstepping the boundaries just a little bit, and he probably doesn't have time to read a 30-page paper written by a YSL juror. Just saying. Judge orders probe into leaked evidence. There have been countless delays in the YSL RICO trial. That's probably on purpose. In March of 2023, Judge Glanville had to stop the proceedings to address leaks of evidence in the trial. During a hearing, Glanville reminded prosecutors and defense attorneys that certain evidence must be contained until the trial begins. It affects everyone's right to a fair trial, the judge explained to the attorneys. I don't know who did this, but if this pertains to you, please amend your ways. You are playing a very dangerous game with your 6-digit bar number. The leaked evidence was a video that showed a 2021 interview involving a witness possibly providing information to investigators about Young Thug in exchange for leniency. The alleged footage went viral on social media. So yeah, I mean, Thug is in a very, very tight spot, right? He's got clearly control of these gangsters who are willing to bring him stuff, lawyers, everybody. It's like an episode of The Wire where they're bringing him stuff into the courtroom. Meanwhile, the other half of people are gonna flip on him or, push a plea like Gunna. So he's got the power on one end, but he's got a lot of, talkative people on the other end. Juror jailed for filming court proceedings. Judge Glanville doesn't play in his courtroom, and one juror had to find that out the hard way. In April 2023, a potential juror in the YSL RICO trial was sentenced to 3 days in jail for filming the court proceedings. The prospective juror, identified as juror 1004, was handcuffed and ushered out of the courtroom after Judge Glanville reportedly reprimanded her for violating his juror instructions. The woman was accused of live streaming the March 17 proceedings, but she was live streaming as a juror. That's crazy too. But she reportedly told the judge that she recorded a video of it and quickly deleted it. Yeah, I'm sure, me too. Deputies retrieved her cell phone and discovered the video clip in her recently deleted folder. The woman added that it was her first time being summoned as a juror, and she didn't know she was forbidden to film in the courtroom, but Judge Glanville didn't buy the juror's excuse and ordered her to spend 3 days in jail, much to her surprise. So again, I don't know how that works. So you can just snap your fingers and send somebody to jail? I guess so, right? I mean, she doesn't get a trial? I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert. Genuine question. Like, a juror does something you don't like and you just send them to jail, right? If they've committed a crime, don't they get their own trial and then the whole system starts again? I don't know. Judge threatens lawyer with jail time. Not only was Judge Glanville punishing jurors in the courtroom, attorneys hired for their services in the YSL trial provoked the ire of the judge as well. In April 2023, Judge Glanville threatened a lawyer with 20 days in jail if he didn't complete a 17-page essay he was assigned after being held in contempt of court. Initially, the attorney requested to pay a fine, but the judge denied him. Apparently, attorney Eric R. Johnson, who was representing Christian Eppinger, a YSL co-defendant, reportedly refused to buy lunch for other attorneys, and the judge held him in contempt of court. Glanville ordered him to write a 17-page essay on the importance of professionalism. So 30-page essay for the juror, 17-page essay for the lawyer after he refused to buy lunch. So the judge is now telling you have to buy lunch for other lawyers? How does that make sense? It seems like it's all a little bit of corrupt on corrupt action. So clearly, the YSL gang, or record label, as we'll call them, have been doing some less than savory things for quite some time. But now this judge who is supposed to be presiding over this case is declaring who needs to buy lunch and who can go on vacation and how many, an arbitrary page count essay. What am I missing here? How does he get the power to do that? The essay must be APA and complete with 20 primary sources and secondary sources. The judge gave him a deadline of April 28 to turn in his paper or face 20 days in jail. Yeah, if he doesn't do it, just go to jail. What? I mean, I don't know, man. I didn't realize this was a thing. I haven't spent enough time in the system, as they say, to realize that the judge can just send you to jail if you don't do exactly what he says. Write a paper. I don't know, man. Lawyer tells judge it's cap. This one went incredibly viral. I think we all saw this, where one of the YSL lawyers accuses the judge of capping. And you can look at the comments under the Instagram post that everybody realizes at that point in time that you're not going home, thug. And the rest of these guys, however many of these guys are up on the trial, 20, 30 guys or whatever it is, you're not going home because you hired some lawyer off the block who's telling the judge it's cap and it's not going to work. And while this judge is doling out, homework assignments, and you think you're going to get up there and say cap and it's all going to work for you, nobody's going to take you seriously, bro. In another bizarre moment with an attorney in the YSL RICO case, one of the defense lawyers said a hip-hop catchphrase while addressing Judge Glanville during the hearing. A lawyer stood before Judge Glanville to address accusations that the legal rep, along with other defense attorneys, were giving their clients candy and offering them to use their cell phones before trial. That is unacceptable, Glanville said. However, the attorney denied any such wrongdoing and referred to it as cap. I will start by saying that this assertion that I did not mention before pre-argument, don't worry about that, okay? Because I'd have to say, I'd have to do it anyway, so don't even worry about that. I was just saying it's not true. It's cap, to be honest. All right. Okay, so the judge claimed he was doing something that he said he wasn't doing, even though all signs point to him probably doing exactly that. And this one went incredibly viral as well. YSL attorney arrested for bringing contraband and assaulting officer in court. They talked about it at the beginning of the article, but Young Thug clearly has some kind of hold over these guys where a lawyer, right, who is, allegedly not involved in this, criminal element, is doing criminal things in court to appease Young Thug. I mean, that's some real power. But like I said, on the opposite side of that, you got a whole bunch of guys who are ready, willing, and able to flip on you. So you control some of them, but you don't control all of them. And either way, with the lawyer calling cap and another lawyer bringing drugs in, you're probably not going home. Courtroom evacuated after Young Thug co-defendant began screaming. One of the most chilling moments in the trial is when a YSL co-defendant was escorted out of the courtroom and was strip searched in another room. In April 2023, during recess in the YSL trial, Lil Rod was taken out of the courtroom and escorted behind closed doors, according to Fox 5 Atlanta. Deputies said that Ryan smelled of marijuana and had to be frisked for contraband. Deputies gave no warning as to why they were removing Ryan from the courtroom. Once inside a secluded room, officers began to strip search Ryan, and that's when he started to scream. They took him back there, and we could hear the screams. As you could hear the screams coming from the back lot, a lot of us were concerned. Defense attorney Suri Chada Jimenez told Fox 5 Atlanta, the attorneys, we stood up and were trying to figure out what was going on. Reporter Michael Seaton obtained body cam footage of what unfolded behind closed doors. Deputies performed a strip search on Ryan and found 2 packets of marijuana sewn into his underwear. So those are the 13 bizarre moments of the YSL trial that is really just beginning. And they didn't even mention, because I guess it, obviously I should say, didn't occur in the courtroom or during the trial, but there was a prison fight, a jail attack between a YFN, the YSL arch rival gang, behind bars, where one of the YFN members allegedly tried to remove a YSL tattoo from a YSL member on top of all this. So they're just getting started, and I can't wait for the Netflix adaptation where Young Thug is played by a white guy, because we love to do the race swapping, but that, of course, is a completely different story, and I digress. Anyhow, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and, of course, subscribe.